We are back. Episode 152 is still summer, so hiatus is on or off depending on life.
Well, the 152 of the BSG podcast. Thanks to our friends at Moon Golf for continue to support and have this on. So go check them out. And tonight we have our really good friend. You've seen him in several videos. He's been on the pod several times. One of our most viewed podcasts with this guy right here, Scott Porter Golf.
What's up, fellas?
How you been?
Man, living life full of changes. Up here in Tennessee, teaching now full time with Perfectus Golf in downtown Nashville at a TrackMan Simulator Bays. So similar to what I'm sure y'all have at Moon Golf from the videos that y'all post. But yeah, man, just living life. We bought a 5-acre farm. Gonna give a quick little cast out.
With
Show the barn.
everywhere.
That's my shout out net return, real quick, subtle plug. Net return. But anyways, yeah, so I got the farm backdrop, and with the farm comes a lot of work. We're up to 16 goats, 4 horses, 30 some odd chickens, 4 dogs. So life's busy. And then of course I got the little one just turned 1, Jetman. So yeah, life is life, and I appreciate the invite. I've been keeping up with what y'all been doing this summer and all the trips y'all been going on and whatnot. It is I'm living vicariously through y'all when it comes to the golf because I have not played very much.
From what I've heard, you've switched up your love and your loyalty from LSU to the Vols. Congrats.
Never. Never. I will tell you this. Living in Georgia my whole life with Georgia fans, some Auburn fans, some Alabama fans, I don't think there's anything quite like the Tennessee fans.
They're different.
I mean, you got the Georgia fans barking at you and stuff, but like the amount of orange that comes into town when Tennessee like plays, like I went to the SEC basketball championship, Tennessee and Florida, and I mean they are wild. They are absolutely wild. I don't think they top my LSU fans down in Baton Rouge, but they're a different breed for sure.
I've been watching on Netflix the SEC. Have y'all been watching that? It's so good. The show.
So I need to watch it again. I binged it.
I'm getting to know some of the LSU players right now. I think it's really cool about the Week brothers. That's pretty sick that they're all there together. I didn't know that. That's pretty sick. I'm definitely not. What's it? Brian Kelly. I cannot stand him one bit as a coach.
Me either. I was hoping the show, because I knew how much LSU was in the show, just from the previews and whatnot. And I was hoping the show would like make me feel better about Brian Kelly. It did not. It was
hard.
He sounds very whiny, like he just wants pity. That's from what I'm getting from the show. That's kind of how he sounds.
Yeah, I don't want to put stereotypes, but he's just very northeastern, and in South Louisiana, like there really is a thing like a culture fit. Like Les Miles was different; he was definitely different, but he like tried in a way, and everything with BK just feels fake all the way back to the family and. You know,
where he had that fake accent at the basketball game.
dancing with the recruits and then pounding his fist on the table when he lost. I'm fully expecting us to lose. I told my boss, or the guy that owns the teaching group, I played in the tournament yesterday with him, and I told him I was taking off the first Saturday the LSU plays because I want to enjoy one day before BK lets me down before we lose to Clemson. So
yeah, him banging on the table, during the Netflix show. That was so good. But I feel the same way honestly about Hugh Freeze when I watched him on the show. Like when he does that whole little, I'm sorry, seniors, you won't get to see the fullness of Auburn. Like I'm like, shut up and win some football games. Like they get on my nerves.
Man, what's y'all going on at quarterback?
I don't know. You know,
3 quarterbacks, 3 play callers.
Did you see
different play caller for each play, each down? So I mean, there's a lot of things in there for Auburn.
And did you see that on Auburn's official Instagram page that they updated in the bio? It says 9-time national championship. They're counting like 2004 and some other year.
Yeah,
like,
well, 04
doing?
04 is kind of the only one that I'm like, okay, that can kind of be a split one. They went undefeated in the SEC. Like I kind of see that, and that's recent. They tried to claim, I think it was 1958. They tried to claim LSU's 1958 when we were 11-0. Iowa claims that one too because they were also undefeated. And we didn't play each other. And then Auburn was like 9-2, and they're trying to claim that one.
I don't understand why we're doing it. And then what's going viral about is that they changed the bio, and then the post right under it pinned was like all earned, not given. Like they posted something like that. So everybody's like letting Auburn have it. Like, how are you going to claim 2 national championships and then post this about earned, not given?
Anytime another SEC school like gets in the spotlight for something not so great. I'm just thankful it's not LSU with BK.
I have a prediction that with them retiring Cam's number and then claiming all these natties, it's about to be an awful season. They're trying to get ahead of it and just say, "Hey, look what we did do."
Dude, Hugh Freeze has been trying to get ahead of it for weeks, months now. That's why he's doing this. I'm sorry, y'all don't get to see the fullness. He's trying to buy time. What we need is John Gruden to come in here and wreck Auburn University and take.
I want him to come to LSU.
That'd be so wild. When he said that about he said I would do anything to be an SEC coach. I'm like, boy, I got the place for you.
There was
John.
a lot of programs were like, come on.
It's so good. I watch his YouTube videos with Barstool, and he went and like visited Georgia. He went and visited Georgia, and like when he's giving them a little speech at the team meeting, I was like, I need him at Auburn. Mm-hmm. He's so good.
Super.
But so that's what we got. Real quick, hey, it's Tour Championship week in the ATL. Before we talk about this week's, I didn't get to watch a lot of the BMW, but I kept up with a lot on social media. 3 weeks ago, before playoffs even started, I made a prediction. I said, playoff Ricky Fowler's going to do something. And week 1, he did something. He made it into top 50. So he made it to week 2. Week
Barely.
2, week 2, he was like at third, which some people are calling it scummy the way he did it, the way he used some exemptions to get in there and whatnot. Week 2, he's like 9 under in the top 10, has a chance. He's like at 30 something. He should have made it, and he doubles at the end and misses on 17 to get out of the top 30. And I was like, no, Ricky.
Yeah.
So
another notable miss is like for the first time in his career, Xander Schauffele did not qualify. Xander did not make it, which he did not have a great year. He's one of my favorites out there, being a Cali guy. But that's surprising. You got a player of his caliber that won 2 majors last year. You expect a little bit of a down year. You don't expect to miss the Tour Championship and be in the top 4th of the field. So a lot to get into, though.
What about
hurt for Tommy?
That's what I was gonna say.
I can't go through it no more. It hurts to watch because I know it's coming. I know on that back stretch, the back 9, there's going to be an issue somewhere, and someone's going to get hot, and he's just cold as ice. And I'm like, here we go.
Well, listen, last week he was 8th. He's in the top 5 now. He's number 5 in FedEx Cup rankings. He has a chance to win the FedEx Cup.
Yep.
He had to play really good at the Tour Championship. And I asked Zach way back, if Scotty wins the Tour Championship this week, it's a wrap on the FedEx. But say Scotty falls out and Tommy doesn't win the Tour Championship, but he finishes like 2nd, enough points to win the FedEx. Are you excited for Tommy, or are you like, he still can't win a PGA Tour event?
Oh, no, I'm excited for him. I mean, that's a life. I mean, he's already made enough money, I'm sure. Golfers tend to be smart with their money. They tend not to be like some other professional athletes where they kind of blow it. And so you have to expect that he's set for life regardless. But that amount of money, if you win the Tour Championship, is life-changing regardless of how much you've already won. So I'd be excited for him for sure. I sneakily think that the ones that he doesn't expect to play well, or the ones that he doesn't expect to win, are the ones that I feel like where he's going to potentially break through. I think he's going to win a big one before he wins a small one, which makes no sense in the world since we've seen him for 10, 15 years. But yeah, no, I love Tommy Fleetwood. It's going to be hard to root against him at Bethpage for sure, but I'm going to, of course.
Yeah, we got to go USA all day.
I told Casey the other week, I think he wins a major. I think he doesn't win anything, and then he shows up at either Augusta or Pinehurst and just knocks one out, and you're like, I knew he had it in him, and then he just finally secures it.
Which would be wild, because that's still not considered a PGA Tour win. It would just be a major win, but if he goes his whole career without one, I'd be shocked if he doesn't get a PGA Tour win.
I could see him winning something like, like the US Open at Pebble, like Gary Woodland did, like just like a random, not a bad. I mean, of course, Pebble's one of the greatest golf courses in America, but like one that's not necessarily like at the same place every year, like Augusta. I think he's obviously won a bunch on the DP World Tour, so you would say his best major chance is obviously an Open. I think that has too much pressure, so I'd see him winning a US Open or a PGA. Before I see him winning Augusta or an Open. But that's just that. There's no real basis behind that. That's just kind of how I feel about the situation. I love Tommy Fleetwood. I love watching him compete. His sawed-off finish is one of the beauties of the game of golf. One of the 7 wonders in the swing world.
Fun. When you watch him in like the TaylorMade videos that they do, he's just a great guy.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
his son makes him even more likable. Just a little miniature version of Tommy. It's like, I've worked my hardest.
And then his stepson's like a giant that he's caddying for and stuff, which is so cool. If you don't know what Scott was saying about life-changing money this week with the FedEx and the Tour, first place is $10 million. You can finish all the way down to 8th place and still win $1 million, which is insane numbers for a golf event. Last place this week actually is $355,000. So they're playing for a lot of money.
That's if you win the event. What is the actual payout of the FedEx Cup?
It's like the Tour Championship. It says bonus money payouts for all 30. So you'll win that plus your FedEx Cup money.
Right.
So
right.
It'll be crazy.
I remember like 3 or 4 years ago, like Rory won like 18 mil, and everybody was like, "What in the world?" And I think it's even been higher than that every year.
That year, Brant Snedeker won. I think it was like close to 30. He got when he won.
I was thinking it was 30.
It was something insane.
Yeah.
And then it was like last year or whatever year Scotty won it. I think he won the FedEx and the Tour, so he won both events, got both bonuses. But let me tell you,
the last couple of years with the staggered start, you had whoever won it won the FedEx.
Yeah.
This year's the first year it's kind of going back to you don't like when Tiger won it in 2018. He won the tournament but didn't win the FedEx Cup. And this year I think is first year, maybe second. Yeah, definitely the first year since then. But I don't remember when they went to that staggered start.
Which I'll say for the first few years I got into golf is very confusing how this works. That you can win on Sunday, but there's 2 winners, if not the same. But I am excited. Everybody, this is the first year they're doing it where in the past, the top 30 players, you'd go into the tournament and you just already start under par a certain level. And Scotty would just be at 12 under par and he'd just take off. But this year, everybody is even par. And I think it's going to be this is what everybody wants. This is what everybody's been asking for. It's going to be good.
I think they need to make personally. I think they need to make one more change to it. I've actually got a tweet to talk about, and it was a guy on Twitter that said, I think I fixed the Tour Championship. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. But essentially what he did was he turned it in from 30 qualifiers to 24. He gave the top 8 in the FedEx Cup standings a seed. So it was Jamie Kennedy on Twitter, on X.
Oh, I've seen that today. Yeah.
Oh.
And he said, so I think I fixed the Tour Championship. Yeah, it's a match play format. Let me explain, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, top 24 make it. The top 8 seeds get a first round bye. So it looks, I don't know if
already
the screen
loved it. As soon as you show me a bracket, I'm all in.
Yeah. So basically it starts on Wednesday, and it's just like the Dell match play that they play in Austin, Texas. Yeah. One of my favorite events that I've ever watched was when Sam Burns beat Scotty Scheffler in the semifinals and had to go to extra holes. And then had to play in the championship the next day. I'm a big Sam Burns fan, but regardless, I love match play. I think watching even the USAM last week, you can see how much match play really shines on TV. One of the coolest shots, speaking of the 2018 Tour Championship, is when they let the gallery kind of fill in behind Tiger walking up 18. Remember that? Where Tiger was out in front, Rory was out in front, and then there was like 1,000 people behind. That's what a USAM feels like. It's obviously much smaller, much more intimate, but everybody's watching that championship match. So the one downside to this is if the championship is like a 7-6 waxing, but I think that you would find it would be much more competitive than you think. So one of the skeptical things is like, what if Scotty just gets beat, or whoever just gets beat in that second round if they get a bye, which obviously could happen. But what he did was he ran it the last 2 years. So he ran it in 2024, like simulated, and he couldn't run the championship round because it was only 4 rounds instead of 5. But the last year it would have produced a Scheffler Morikawa finish. So that would have been Scotty seeded 1, Morikawa seeded 7. And then in 2023, it actually would have been Scotty versus Victor Hovland, and that would have been a 1-2 finish. So you can kind of simulate it based on the day-by-day results of who would have beat who. Obviously, there's some there being match play. But I think that would be such a cool way to make it different than the rest of the PGA Tour. Like even what you're going to see this week is you're going to see a lot of commercials because there's only 30 guys. Excuse me. There's only 30 guys out there on the course.
Yeah.
So where they normally have 120 or they normally have 72 on the signature events to pull shots from, you have a lot less than that. And I worked at the Tour Championship for 3 years while I was in college. It's a fun day. It's a great day. It's a cool experience, but it's only a 2 to 3 hour window. Like if you're sitting on one hole, then the whole field comes through and then you have to go move. So it's not that big of a change, I guess is what I'm trying to say, to go from this format to a match play style format, because the crowds already get more and more congregated on 15, on 16, on 17, because there's no play on 6, 7, 8, 9 behind them, if that makes sense. A lot quicker than a normal event because there's only 30 guys. So anyways, that I know that's not reality. That's not what is happening, but I just love the idea of that.
The odds of the Tour doing it are probably pretty slim because they don't seem to want to do anything that people
Live would do it.
Yeah, but we don't care. Come on.
If you put like 50,000 retweets, we'll do it. Live would honor it.
I would never be able to get 50,000 retweets.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying they would follow the fans.
No, I will say this. I think the PGA Tour, with the new CEO coming in, I think they are open to changing the playoff format. I think this, going back to what it was 2018, 2019, I don't think that's the permanent solution to fix these playoffs. It helps when your Scotty Schefflers of the world play well and win the events. It is better for the PGA Tour for Scotty to win than a Bobby McIntyre last week, of course. My idea is they're going to look at all of it, right? And if enough fan outreach is out there about, hey, let's change it up, let's go to match play. I mean, Smiley talked about it on his podcast. We're obviously talking about it, which is very important. And there's multiple people in the golf sphere already mentioning stuff like this. So I don't think it's like a crazy slim possibility. I don't think it's going to be this exact format, but I think you definitely could see a mix up in. I don't know how long it's going to stay in the format that it is this week. I don't think very long.
Yeah, it'd be exciting. So let's see what everybody's thinking. I'm thinking for this week, I think Rory wins Tour Championship on Sunday. He's lifting trophy, but I think Scotty wins the FedEx. Those are my two picks. I just don't think Scotty's going to fall down. He's got Ted Scott back on the bag. He's not going to fall down. He's 3,700 points ahead of Rory. I think he's got the FedEx in the bag. What are y'all thinking?
Go ahead, Zach. I'm looking something up real quick.
I need to look.
Scotty, Rory, JJ Spawn, Justin Rose, and Fleetwood are top 5. There's a sleeper pick at number 7. He's a Ryder Cup team member, Russell Henley. Would love to see him pull. He ain't gonna win FedEx. Would love to see him win the Tour Championship.
I hate to say it. I think JJ Spawn
wins on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so consistent this year to have been like somebody lost in the mix.
Yeah.
And now he's just there. But I mean, as soon as you say that, it's like Sunday will be Scotty. He'll close both.
I would be.
I would put more money on Scotty than I would anything else. It's almost like the old Tiger versus the field.
Yeah.
Scotty's just so consistent. His emotions are very controlled. He's just reliable. If you're going to roll money every week on somebody to win.
So real quick, I don't know what y'all want to do about the situation, but just looked it up. Whoever wins. So.
Oh, really? That's the point.
Yeah.
How many points do you get if you win, I guess?
It doesn't matter at this point. Basically, I'm on PGAtour.com. Effective in 2025, it'll be played as a 72-hole stroke play event. The best performer on the course over 4 rounds of the Tour Championship will win the FedEx Cup. So basically, they've eliminated Scotty's lead. So Scotty basically has to win. So
these points don't even matter. He's 3,700 points ahead of second place.
And that's probably that's a bit. That's a bit dumb,
crazy,
in my opinion.
Number 30 could come in and win, and it's like the points didn't matter. I guess the points mattered to get you to this point.
I'm gonna now make a off the wall prediction.
Akshay.
No. Tommy Fleetwood. He gets it done. It's a small field.
He won't do it.
He gets it done.
This is what he needs, a small field.
He needs a small field. Nobody's giving him a chance, even though he's top 5. He gets it done.
I'm going with JJ. I'm going with my original thought. I think JJ Spawn does it. He's played well.
If that's the case.
But if I had U.S. currency on it, it would be Scotty.
Yeah, 100%. If you made me place a wager, I would bet Scotty for sure.
Obviously we'd love to see Tommy. But I think realistically, if it's not Scotty and not Rory, it would make me so happy to see Keegan Bradley do it the year, right before he's about to do this Ryder Cup thing. Because he's at number 16 right now. So I'd love to see Keegan do it.
My favorite person I would love to see win is Sung J M, just because that would mean the world to Willie Wilcox, who's a good buddy of mine, who's his caddy. So shout out Wave God Willie. But if it's not Sung J and it's not Scotty, I'm going with Tommy Fleetwood.
I'm going JJ.
So that's our picks for that. Right before this starts, though, on Wednesday, the reason why they can't have the playoff brackets because they got something planned right here. Wednesday at 3:30 is the Creator Classic at East Lake. Last year was the first year they did it. This is where they've got some YouTubers and other creators. They're going to play holes number 10 through 17 with the lowest 4 scores. It's going to be a gross stroke play format. Lowest 4 scores will advance to 18 for a playoff. Last year, I remember Wesley was in it, ended up losing. Everybody gave him so much crap because you're like, bro, you're a PGA Tour player. You shouldn't be in this. And he lost.
Yeah.
But
Luke won. Didn't Luke win?
Yep.
I believe, yep. The winner of it. There's only 12 in it. It's Luke, Tisha, Sabrina, Gabby Goff, Peter Finch, Michael Morris, Solly from No Laying Up, Roger Steele, Garrett Clark from Good, Brad from Good, Sean from Good, and Daniel Soliner. So,
Roger Steele had that issue with Wesley last year. He's like, why wouldn't you tell me how it's played or whatever on the distance?
He finished second, 4-way playoff loss, which is crazy. Wesley did not get. Him and PGA Tour are not on good terms right now. That's why he did not. I was like, how did he not get invited back?
More interesting is no Grant.
Yeah, no Grant.
No George.
Yeah.
So you might be starting to see a little bit of the backlash of the live duels that they've been doing. On all the YouTubes over there. I don't want to hate on YouTube golf on YouTube. With that being said, there's not one single person that would make me tune in on Wednesday for that. I'm sorry, guys. I know y'all probably want me to do something different. There's just nobody on that list. And the one thing I will say after last year and the one players, whoever is playing with that girl, Gabby Golf, put her on the clock immediately because she slowed down the entire golf course with her dad.
Oh, that's true.
I like it. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but if you don't go get the biggest guys, like if I don't see a Fat Perez, if I don't see a George, if I don't see a Wesley, like if you don't go get the guys that I'm tuning in to watch on YouTube, I'm probably not going to watch.
I will watch Solly because I love No Laying Up. My favorite creators on YouTube. I'd watch them, and then I want to watch Michael Morris blow up. Listen, Michael's a great guy. I have nothing against him, but he's one. It's just he puts off this persona like I'm going pro. And then I want to watch him play a pro event against not pros and watch him get just demolished.
I would watch that.
I like Roger still too. Roger's
that big YouTube golfer with the long drive, Bryson. I would watch him on there.
He's so dumb. Could you imagine Bryson got invited into this? That'd be so wild.
I will say this. I'm gonna defend, and I do not normally defend the PGA Tour, but Bryson basically saying, well, Liv would let me go play when Keegan's talking about trying to get everybody the week before the Ryder Cup to play in the PGA Tour event. The fact that they even think that Bryson would just get a special exemption back to the PGA Tour, but like they didn't even want the man to be on the Ryder Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a bit for Bryson to be so smart. And I love Bryson DeChambeau to death. Don't get me wrong, but for him to be so smart, like it's almost like you're just saying that because you know you can use this against them right now. Like no one, I think, on the PGA Tour side would ever even think about giving him an exemption into the PGA Tour for that week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I don't know.
Have you not heard of this?
I saw where he qualified, but then there's going to be it's up in the air. which is crazy.
Yeah, so Keegan basically came out last week. I don't know if it was on a podcast or a question or whatever, and basically said, I want all of the guys on the team to play in this PGA Tour event that's like 2 weeks before or a week before or whatever. And then the question got up, well, one of your players on the team won't be able to do that. And Keegan basically goes, he's like, I would love if the PGA Tour gave him a spot in that week. Like, obviously that would never happen, right? Yeah. Keegan's probably just saying that to say that. Keegan can't do anything about it. Bryson's on the team. I'm glad Bryson's on the team. There's nobody else better suited for Bethpage back than Scotty or Bryson. 1-2, 1A, 1B. Mm-hmm. With that being said, Bryson then went on social and answered questions and was like, Liv said I could go. It's on the PGA Tour for not letting me go. And it's like, dude, like clearly.
Well, they have a PR team pushing questions and answers into those 100%. Guys specifically to needle at the tour.
But after 3 years, like it's very obvious that's not working. Like it's just, I want them to come back together. I want them to figure it out. I want them to do a Ryder Cup against each other, at least like 6 tournaments a year. Let's just mix it up. But like, that's not the way to do it, in my opinion.
I hate he's over there. I enjoy watching Bryson so much, and I'm never turning on YouTube.
You can watch on YouTube.
And John Rahm. And John Rahm. I
there's several. Cam Smith too.
Who are those guys? Never heard of them since they walked over.
So what's interesting is everybody has that perception that John Rahm has just like, he hasn't won very much on Live. He just won the season long because he's I guess been the most consistent over there. What's interesting though is Data Golf, who is the only people that are kind of incorporating everything instead of like the World Golf Rankings. Like Rahm's all the way down to 67 in the official World Golf Rankings. He top 10 in every major this year. Yeah, it's like he's the number 2 best player in the world. And just because he went to Live doesn't mean, arguably you could say that with a Cam Smith, it's like obviously his game has trended down. You can't say that about Joaquin Niemann. You can't say that about John Rahm. So on the other side of it, on the PGA side of it, like we got to quit just assuming these dudes are trash just because they went over there. They're not. They're really good still. Now, are they all? Heck no. Do you have your AK? In the world?
AK. They even let AK
got regulated. Yeah.
He got
I do love the relegation, like in soccer. They're just like Henrik got regulated too. I mean, that's kind of cool though. They cut. All right, you're down.
Case Koepka the first season.
Yeah.
Now they didn't cut AK.
For sure. But Tour Championship, there's one thing specifically I wanted to mention before we move on from the Tour Championship. If you have not looked up the new tee shot on number 15, look that up. It's 220 yards to an island green with nothing but a lake in front of you. So it's still the same lake, but they just
I saw it today on Instagram.
They keep moving the tee box like more and more towards the center of the lake. I don't even know how they're doing it, but they are. And now the shot is 200. Can you imagine a 220-yard
where my shot would go? And I can tell you where I'm dropping on the other side.
I mean, at some point, though, like you're making it, they want to dial back the ball. You're not going to have a ball for 220 yards that can stop on a dime if they dial back the ball and roll it back. So at some point, it's like, all right, I agree with certain things on the technology side, but then on the other side is like the courses you're designing these courses that like it's going to make it impossible if we do roll the technology back. 220 yards to an island green. I couldn't hold a 4-iron onto a 20-yard long green there's no chance. These dudes obviously best players in the world. They're going to do it. You're going to see it. But the 15th will be. It's already one of the coolest holes in the tournament. I probably have more as far as my knowledge of any course that they play on the PGA Tour. I know more about that tournament just from working there, and then I went and saw it last year after the renovation after Jet was born. Just kind of spent a day out there walking by myself. Followed Sung Jae and Willie for their whole round. The changes that they made changed East Lake completely. But with that being said, it's one of the most like unique. It doesn't feel like the same golf course, but then you're like, oh yeah, it's the same golf course. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's a really cool vibe when you go out there. So if y'all do happen to get the chance to go up this week or in the future, it's a cool tournament because it's very personal and you can get really close to everything going on.
Let me ask
Speaking of that,
y'all.
you mentioned Willie. I cannot tell you the last time I heard his name.
Yeah.
He
What's
had
it called? The
Buttonwaters
movie
last
Happy Gilmore
year.
too. That's where I saw him.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all about Ryder Cup real quick. We're about 5 weeks out from the Ryder Cup. The 6 that have qualified have made it: Scotty, JJ Xander, Russell Henley, Harris English, and Bryson. Obviously, he gets 12 on the team, so he's going to hand select 6. Right now at 9 and 10, let me ask you this: we got Ben Griffin and Maverick McNeely. Are you swapping any of these guys out and bringing like Spieth on here because this Ryder Cup? Are you bringing Brooks up? Brooks is number 76 right now, by the way. Are you just kind of trusting these rankings and going with it?
I'm certainly not bringing Spieth or Brooks in. Let me look up real quick.
What about Patrick Reed?
Oops. Let me look up real quick. Let me look up. I would
Patrick
love
Reed's
to see Patrick Reed
42.
on the team. Let me
He's
look
number
up the
42.
rankings real quick.
I would think Cantley. Cantley's at 15. I'd sneak him in. I'd pick him just because he kind of has that dog in him.
I think Cantley's going to be on the team. I think it's just one of those things. He almost gets in the Europeans' heads more than anything.
Yeah, they hate him.
And they do. And so he's at 15. He's one of the only ones in that 9 through 14, 15, 16 range that has Ryder Cup experience. So you're bringing Keegan in. I think you're probably in that case, you're probably dropping Maverick McNeely before you drop Ben Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mav. I think he's a really, really good player.
I need somebody with some dog in him. Like Harrison, I wish we could drop Harris English. He's going to be so boring out there.
I think that Harris English pairs well with a lot of people. And one of the things about the Ryder Cup, man, is like you can go out there with all the emotion and all the passion in the world. He who maintains that level of even kill like a Cantley does until the end. I think you're going to see Harris, Russell, some of these players that you wouldn't necessarily think of. I think you're going to see them play pretty well. Now, I'm worried about JT. I'm worried about Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
about
Colin
JT.
Morikawa, man. Colin Morikawa, he's like the antithesis of Spieth in a sense where like Spieth went after distance so much that he changed everything. It almost leaked too far into the rest of his game, and it's hard to get back from that. Colin Morikawa is the opposite. Like you can't keep hitting the ball 280 yards off the tee and expect to contend when the golf courses are getting longer and longer. He hits the spinny fade, and obviously he's one of the best players in the world, but this year I have not been impressed. He's number 8. He's going to make the team, but in that like sense, I think you almost have to have him paired with somebody strong. So Keegan playing as a playing captain, I think is one of the biggest risk rewards for Keegan Bradley. I think the safe play for Keegan is to just be the captain. I think if we lay a dud and he plays,
he's gonna get chewed out.
It's almost like it almost negates what happened last time where we felt like we had a stronger team at home than we did on the road. This time, if he doesn't play well and he plays, let's just say he plays in 2 events and he goes 0-2, you're going to have a lot of backlash if the team loses. So I think in his legacy, in his mind, he said this week that this is going to be the hardest decision of his entire life. You make a lot of decisions in your life. And for him to already be saying that about picking himself versus picking somebody else, I think personally, he should pick somebody else. Personally.
All right, we got to be real right here. The reason he is the captain, and nobody wants to admit it, but it's true. Netflix set this up.
Because he got cut. Yep.
Yes, this is all TV. That's the reason he's the captain. And
I don't think it was Netflix. I think it's PR because of Netflix. Netflix doesn't have enough control. Netflix does not have enough control.
It's all interwoven.
But let's say
it's PR because of it.
I believe that's the only reason he's really the captain. So let's take it out and say that Full Swing would have never came out. They're not trying to build the storyline. Keegan is not picked captain. I think if he was just not captain, he would definitely be picked to play on this team. And therefore, I think he should play because he should get a spot. He should not be the captain. I don't think he should be the captain. I think it's specifically all for PR, like we said. But throw him in there. The man's got that dog in him. And he should have got picked last year. The fact we let JT in instead of Keegan was insane. That was so wild.
I agree. The one thing I will say though is like the pressure that you're going to feel as a playing captain.
Yeah. Now that's true. Yeah.
Less than 5 people in history have ever.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I agree he's a dog in a FedEx Tour tournament that he comes back on the last day to kind of take the win. Like, I love Keegan Bradley. Do I think he's top 30 American of all time? No. And the amount of pressure that we're talking about putting yourself under, I mean, you're talking about the greatest of the greats that have been able to pull that off, you know. I'm bummed that we never got to see Tiger play as a playing captain. I think that would have been one of the coolest things. Yeah. How, with that being said, though, do I want to pass that on to a Keegan Bradley because he shamefully got left off the team in front of the world, in front of Netflix? No, I don't want to put that pressure on him. I want him to enjoy his captaincy. I want him to go out and put a team together that is going to defend our home turf. Do I think he's probably one of the 12 best players? Yes. Do I think he's one of the 12 best players while he's also trying to coach the other 11 players? No. That's just how I feel about it. I don't think it's as simple as just plug and play. I think he's going to be so worried about the matchups and who he put out there that he's not going to be able to just turn off his brain and then go tee it up go play. So
he's just thinking about all the pairings and making sure he gets it right and going over it and triple checking it.
So if that was 2 people, this is totally selfish preference. If those 2 people that I would put on the team, if I'm taking Keegan out, I'm taking Maverick McNeely out, and I'm taking Brian Harmon out. Brian Harmon sneaked into 12.
I cannot stand it. It's so boring to me.
So if I was going to take 3 guys out and I would put 3 guys on, I'm putting Cameron Young on the team. Northeast kid, bombs the ball from Sleepy Hollow in New York. Like, he's going to have the fans behind him. He's going to, he just won. You put Cameron Young on that team. I'm putting Patrick Cantlay on the team, and I'm putting the selfish pick. I'm putting Sam Burns on the team. Sam Burns pairs with Scotty. You don't have to worry about it. You put them out there. They go 4-1 or 5-0 on their own because they're partnered together 4 times and they play their singles match with whoever, whatever. Outside of that, I like the top 9. I think obviously 1 through 6 are set. I think you take JT. I think you take Colin, and I think you take Ben Griffin. And then I'm taking, like I said, I'm taking Cantlay, Burns, and I'm taking Sam Burns.
If he don't perform this year, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm done with JT for the rest of my life. If he don't do something the Ryder Cup, I'm so sick of him not having it in him no more. Yeah. But I'm real glad that this team has nothing to do with Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson ruined us, and I'm so glad this team has nothing to do with him. Don't even let him wear a red, white, and blue polo that week. Like, we're done with him.
Facts.
So that's Ryder Cup. You know, we talk about U.S. team. Next time we'll have Scott on again before the Ryder Cup, and we'll dissect the European team, because I know we talk about U.S. because that's who we got, but European team, top 6 that are qualified. We got Rory, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood, number 3, big Tommy, Justin Rose, who is a dog in these kind of formats.
He is.
Tyrrell Hatton, and Shane Lowry, who I love Shane in this kind of stuff too. So we won't get into them tonight, but there's one thing I want to ask Scott before we wrap this up. If y'all don't know, Scott is a big gearhead kind of person, techie, and Golf Spy today released a very interesting, I don't know if y'all saw it on Instagram. I know Scott did because he liked the post on Instagram, longest golf balls, where they test. And for people like us, we're always interested in stuff like this. Not that the golf ball really affects my skill level or Zach's.
It does.
Okay, so here we go. This is what I'm talking about with Scott. But the first, we'll say the longest golf ball was the Callaway Chrome Tour. Second longest golf ball. This was a shocker to me.
Triple diamond. Make sure you say it right. The longest is triple diamond.
Second longest, PXG Extreme Tour. And then the other thing that shocked me, Kirkland performed better than the Strixon C-Star Diamond. Scott, what do you think about this list?
Yeah, man, it's one of those things where longest doesn't mean best. So I want to make sure I preference that before I say anything. Now, with that being said, it's not surprising to me that some of the balls that are trying to take more market share are gearing towards distance. That's not anything necessarily new. Now, the players that you're mentioning are newer into the golf sphere, golf ball making world, PXG being obviously the most notable there. PXG is one of those companies that every time I think they're going to go away, they don't. And they just keep like kind of like showing up. They were the first one to go after Lab Golf with the zero torque, no torque putter. They came out with their BXG Allen. It was like the first time any competitor started to claim no torque. Then they come out obviously this year or last year with the golf ball, a couple different iterations of it. It's not surprising to me that they performed as well as they did. What would be surprising to me is if that ball and the Kirkland and some of the others that you're mentioning are the same ball throughout the pack or from pack to pack to pack. So I'm going to let your viewers in on a little secret. Learn from what the best players in the world do. I'm not telling you to go put Epsom salt in a glass and salt your golf balls, but not all golf balls are made equally. And if you don't believe me, cut a golf ball open the next time you get it scuffed on the cart path. So if you're not going to play it again, just take some pipe cutters or whatever and cut it open and check the rings and make sure that the ball's centered. What you'll find a lot of the time, and Callaway was even guilty of this in my early years with them on staff. They got much better because of My Golf Spy putting out these reports. But what you'll find is you'll find a lot of irregulars or whatever that word is. You will find a lot of just imperfections in the process. They're making millions of golf balls, and your Callaway, I've seen the ball plant. I've seen the prototypes and the testing of everything that they go into it. So shout out to them for being number one. With that being said, I'm going to circle back to Casey a little bit and what he said. If you look at the total distance of the golf balls, I think it was like 17 yards from bottom to top or something like that. It wasn't insane. So hitting the center of the club face matters more than whatever golf ball you're using. With that being said, if you are consistently hitting the middle of the club face and you still feel like you have a few extra yards out there and you're playing a Pro V1 that you maybe don't compress as well, you certainly can look outside of things and see if there's a golf ball longer for you. But knowing what center face contact feels like is the most important part of distance. There's no changing my mind about that. So you got to be able to hit it in the center first, and then once you can hit it in the center, start testing different golf balls and seeing what works for you.
I love that the top comment was, so the ball that 75% of the tour uses isn't listed, and My Golf Spy responded, you got to consider paid to play. Because the Pro V, just the regular, now the Pro V1, the left dash was listed, but not just the standard Pro V1.
Yeah, and they say that, and I know it's off testing, but if you go ask anybody, like anytime we've interviewed any of these college golfers, there's one ball they play, and they get it free, and a lot of them have unlimited choices, and 99% of the time it's Pro V. So it's got to be something. It may not test perfect in a lab, but
I will tell you this: some of it is like when you get to that level, you're scared to change unless you're getting paid to change. Like if you're talking to the Auburn golf team, being on that top 5 is matters more than pretty much anything else, almost anything else in their life right now. And you want to make sure that your spot is safe. So if you start tweaking around and suddenly that ball is rolling out 18 more inches on a standard chip than it normally would, or it's stopping 18 inches quicker, that's something that they're not used to. So you're going to see that people don't really test to want to change. A lot of times they'll test just to make sure that the version of the ball they like to play is still the version they should play. So what I mean by that is a Pro V1 loyalist will try the left edge, he'll try the Pro V1X, he'll try the dot, he'll try the regular Pro V1, but he's going to make his choice of those 4, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of it also, you say they have a lot of options in the same way that like a football team is Jordan or a football team is Nike. Like Point played Strixon because Strixon and Point had a deal, right? It's kind of a little bit like, and only the best of the best players are getting that choice at the top of the top schools. For example, like Jacob just kind of put on there that he's got some stuff coming in from Acushnet. That's because of his ranking in NAI. It's not the whole team there, right? So you don't have as much of a choice at certain spots. Now, Auburn's of the world, your top schools of the world, you do, but it would take a lot for a player that's been playing that ball for 10, 12 years just on the name alone for him to go out and change before he really understands or sees the data points of why. Now, the number one thing also to keep in mind, the PGA Tour is probably searching for distance more than some other tours because the margins are so thin out there. I don't think the most important thing to some of these players is the difference between 324 and 327 yards, right?
Yeah.
Like if that ball goes farther but doesn't stop as fast, or it's not as consistent in the rollout or the spin, I think that's where you kind of have the issues. You want to get the most consistent ball that you know what it's going to do. Some players don't want their ball to rip back. They want it to just simply hit and stop. That's like what Bryson's talking about. Bryson wants a ball that flies straighter, that doesn't rip. When he feels like when he gets a ball that goes straight, it has too much spin, so it rips off the greens with his wedges and his short irons. So there's components to it. I think you're going to see a lot of creativity in the next couple of years in the golf ball world. I don't think that it's going to necessarily just roll over and die with the rollout.
Yeah. Zach,
what ball are you playing currently?
Whatever. I don't have a deal right now, so I had a couple dozen Strixons that I had been playing. I really like it, the Z-Star Diamond. But currently, I think the last thing I put in my bag was the Triple Diamond, the new one.
Zach, are you going to stick with the Z-Star Diamonds? You're losing 4.3 yards.
That does not matter to me at all.
I was just wondering.
I just want my number one thing from shot to shot is play the same ball, and then number two is go generally in the direction I'm aiming. If I can get those two, the ball don't matter, because if I can hit it and play the same ball, I know my issue is never the ball.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'm a Wilson guy. I need to shop around a little bit.
I don't know.
The Wilson Duo, about 10 years ago, the Wilson Duo was one of the better golf balls that you could buy. And it was one of the cheaper.
Max Fly is not on this list.
4 dozen deal. I want
Max Fly and Vice Golf are not on this list right now. So they're
I've heard some not so great stuff about Vice Golf, I will say.
I think they're trending downwards. That's going to be my prediction on them.
That's because they wouldn't respond to us when we were trying to work with them. You don't work with us, things go downhill.
It's the curse.
That's
right. Well, that's all I got for this episode. Scott, thanks for hopping on.
Always a pleasure, boys. Miss y'all. Need to come down to Georgia and play some golf soon. Maybe we can meet in the middle one of these days.
Yeah, that sounds great to me, because I'm trying to play some golf with some good golfers, because Zach's not cutting it. So you let me know, Scott.
Well, no, do not reveal our record head-to-head this season.
All right. Well, that's the end of this episode. We'll see y'all for the next one, 153. See y'all.